Sami Zayn's Wikipedia page changed. Goldberg returning to set up match against undefeated WWE star. WWE wants Buddy Matthews back. Update on Drew McIntyre's health. Roman Reigns' savage advice for unhappy WWE superstars who feel their spots are being taken by celebrities. Roman Reigns preparing to leave WWE. Let's jump right in. Goldberg returning to set up match against undefeated WWE star. WWE Hall of Famer Goldberg might not yet be done competing in the ring. According to Zero News, he might be making a comeback soon at Crown Jewel 2022 in Saudi Arabia. We last saw the 55-year-old star square off against Roman Reigns for the undisputed Universal Championship at WWE Elimination Chamber 2022. The main event saw Goldberg go to war with the Tribal Chief but ultimately succumb to Reigns' signature guillotine hold, passing out in the middle of the ring. Since then, Goldberg has been relatively quiet about competing, but that could change soon. Zero News has reported that the iconic WCW star will be making an appearance on Raw soon to set up a match at the premium live event in Saudi Arabia. Seems people claiming only now they know about Goldberg for Saudi. Goldberg will be on Raw shortly to set up his match. Also, Lesnar will be back soon. It's also been reported that Goldberg was pitched to go against the undefeated Veer Mahan and Omos in a triple threat match. Perhaps this match could develop into a storyline for each man to prove their dominant winning streak is superior to the other. Goldberg's career resurgence has been a bumpy road to say the least, with his infamous match against The Undertaker at Super Showdown 2019 being an unfortunately bad blemish. The controversial match between the two icons became a disaster from its opening moments, which saw Goldberg suffer a concussion. The match did not get better from there and was riddled with issues from uncoordinated attacks and botched maneuvers. EC3 was one of the talents on the plane in Saudi Arabia, where he observed the reactions of dozens of stars from the fallout of the match. The former WWE superstar revealed on Sportskeeda as the Wrestling Outlaws what the atmosphere on the plane was like following the disastrous match. Goldberg got concussed twice, EC3 said. It was kinda like an epic match, but it didn't go according to great standards per se. It got kinda messy and Taker almost got hurt. Goldberg was knocked out, and I remember on the plane how this affects guys even at the very top of their game or who have been to the top of the mountain. A performance that you're not satisfied with, and then 18 hours to think about it alone in the darkness. Would you like to see Goldberg wrestle in WWE again? Who would you want him to face off against? Sound off below. WWE wants Buddy Matthews back. AEW star Buddy Matthews was apparently one of the names contracted by WWE while under contract with All Elite Wrestling. Easily lost amid the chaos of the last month were reports that WWE had contacted some AEW talent, raising concerns of contract tampering. AEW sent an email to co-CEOs Nick Khan and Stephanie McMahon to warn them not to tamper with their talent. Malachi Black was recently granted his release from the promotion but is under a non-complete clause for an undisclosed amount of time. In other words, Malachi cannot just show up on Raw or SmackDown as Aleister Black again. He will have to wait a while to do so. While it's unclear whether Black was contacted by WWE, a member of his stable apparently was. According to the Wrestling Observer's Ryan Frederick on the F4W board, WWE reportedly sent out feelers to Buddy Matthews, Andre Del Idolo, Keith Lee, Adam Cole, and Kyle O'Reilly. The House of Black wrestled Sting, Darby Allin, and Miro at AEW All Out in a trios match. At the end of the match, Sting spat green mist into Malachi's eyes and Darby followed it up with a coffin drop for the pinfall victory. Malachi then bowed to the audience before making his way to the back. Buddy seemingly had a similar send-off at Rampage Grand Slam. The Great Muta made a shocking appearance and spat mist into Matthews' eyes. Sting followed it up with the Scorpion Death Drop to put Buddy away. Buddy Matthews gave a similar promo to Malachi Black at an independent wrestling event and said he needed time to recalibrate. Malachi noted that he needed to recalibrate the last 2 decades of his life in a recently released statement. Speaking at Fight Life Pro Wrestling, Buddy confirmed that he will be stepping away from in-ring competition for a while. He quoted Malachi and said that this wasn't a goodbye and he would see the fans down the road. Unfortunately, tonight, I'm going to be the bearer of some unfortunate news. As everyone knows, the House of Black has had some issues lately. As all the members of the House, I'm speaking for them all, we want to thank you all for being members of the House. Unfortunately, I, like some of the other members, need to go away for a while. I need to recalibrate. I need to figure out some things. As my brother Malachi once said, this isn't goodbye, this is see you later, said Matthews. Buddy and Aleister were both released from WWE on June 2, 2021. It will be interesting to see if they both wind up returning to the company in the near future. Would you like to see Buddy Murphy and Aleister Black back in WWE? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Update on Drew McIntyre's health. If Drew McIntyre hasn't cemented his spot already as a workhorse for WWE, his latest feat of endurance will surely get him the deserved honor in the fans' eyes. As reported by PW Insider, the former WWE champion has been quite sick of late with a horrible case of food poisoning and still managed to show up on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre was reportedly in rough shape during the most recent episode but somehow battled through to appear for a segment with Karrion Kross. The Scottish Warrior allegedly needed an IV treatment to help him get through SmackDown. While McIntyre could have even competed at this weekend's live events as advertised, WWE officials took the cautious route by pulling the superstar from the match cards. Drew McIntyre certainly needs some rest to recover, and Braun Strowman was announced as the replacement at the house shows. It should be noted that fans in attendance were surprised as Braun Strowman returned to the live event circuit for the first time since his WWE comeback for a couple of exciting main event matches. The two-time world champion interestingly came out on SmackDown with a leather belt in his hands and cut a typically impassioned promo directed towards Karrion Kross. As expected, the recently returned star used a distraction from his wife Scarlett to unleash a blindsided attack on Drew McIntyre. The segment even featured an embarrassing botch as Kross eventually managed to get the better of McIntyre by locking in his cross jacket submission move. Kross accepted McIntyre's challenge to a strap match at Extreme Rules 2022 and ended the segment in dominant fashion. McIntyre and Kross stipulation match is just the third confirmed match in the Extreme Rules lineup, as a few more will make the cut, including a first-time ever I Quit match. Are you hyped about Kross versus McIntyre? Sound off in the comments section below. Roman Reigns' savage advice for unhappy WWE superstars who feel their spots are being taken by celebrities. Top WWE superstar Roman Reigns recently sent a message to those within the company who feel disgruntled by individuals coming in and taking a spot on the card. According to him, they should make sure nobody steals their spotlight. The Tribal Chief has been the face of WWE for nearly a decade now and is undeniably one of the biggest stars in the wrestling industry today. A common gripe that some fans and performers have with the product today is when celebrities such as Logan Paul are thrust into the company's limelight straight away. During a conversation with Seconds Out, Roman stated that a performer's spot in WWE is theirs to control and it is up to them to make sure nobody steals their spotlight. Be so good that nobody can take your spot. I don't care who they bring in, you can bring in anyone, and they ain't going to take the Tribal Chief's spot. Reigns currently rules WWE with complete sincerity, with little sign of slowing down as he sits atop the company as the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. The Tribal Chief has been a world champion in WWE for a stunning 750 days. During that time he has defeated legends, Hall of Famers as well as the best of today's generation. However, his next challenger Logan Paul falls under none of the categories mentioned. Continuing his conversation with Seconds Out, Roman Reigns said that Paul is ignorant of thinking he can stand with him, given that Logan has only had 2 matches in WWE. It's just ignorance, man, Roman Reigns said. It's fine from afar, but when I'm sitting on the same stage and I'm hear some of that dumb SHT spewed out, of course it's gonna anger me and things are gonna pop off. But at the same time, before he came here, no disrespect, didn't know who he was. I'm not a 15-year-old little girl. I don't watch Logan Paul or any of the Paul YouTube vlog people. That's not what I do. Logan Paul and Roman Reigns are set to collide in Saudi Arabia at Crown Jewel on Saturday, November 5th, with the undisputed WWE Universal Championship on the line. Who do you see leaving Crown Jewel as the undisputed champion? Let us know in the comments section below. Roman Reigns preparing to leave WWE. Former WWE head writer Vince Russo feels Roman Reigns and some other top stars are doing a good job of promoting their appearances on social media. The head of the table has arguably been the biggest star in pro wrestling for the last 2 years. One of the major reasons for his popularity was how he went about creating a niche for himself on social media. The Tribal Chief often takes to Twitter to promote upcoming matches and even shares how he has been dominating the island of relevancy in WWE. On the latest episode of Writing with Russo, the former writer mentioned that he enjoyed stars like Reigns, Ronda Rousey, and The Miz using social media to promote big matches or television shows. He added that he would have done the same. It's a slippery slope, bro, because like a Roman Reigns or Ronda Rousey or The Miz with his television show, these big stars, if I was them, I would be using it to promote what I'm doing. However, on the other side of the coin, here's the slippery slope. Russo explained that they were trying to build a brand for themselves so that people would recognize these stars ever after they split from the company. These wrestlers know they're not going to be with the WWE forever. They've seen so many cuts that you can be let go like that. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to build their personal brand so people get to know who they are once they're not with WWE. While Vince Russo was appreciative of how Roman Reigns conducts his business on Twitter, the newer WWE stars did not get the same level of appreciation. He detailed that the new generation of stars often listen to fans and so-called experts on the internet and put on high spots during their matches at the expense of their own safety. All of a sudden, bro, the performers want to get so over with this crowd. They want to get so over with the crowd that they start catering to the crowd. Social media has undoubtedly become a major part of wrestling today as wrestlers and fans use it to connect with each other. Wrestlers such as Alexa Bliss and Liv Morgan, among others, have also used Twitter and other platforms to warn their fans of potential fraud. Do you think social media has a big influence on wrestling content? Sound off in the comments below. Sami Zayn's Wikipedia page changed. A fan recently made some changes to Sami Zayn's Wikipedia page to reflect the ongoing storyline between the former Intercontinental Champion and the Bloodline. The WWE Universe was taken on a roller coaster of emotions this past Friday night on SmackDown. The show opened with the Bloodline's acknowledgement ceremony, where Reigns addressed the crowd and asked them to acknowledge him. The undisputed WWE Universal Champion then turned his attention to Solo Sikoa and told the 29-year-old that even though the elders sent him, he answers to the tribal chief now. As the Bloodline was about to exit the ring, Sami Zayn thought it would be a good time to acknowledge the tribal chief as well. Reigns then requested that Zayn to take the Bloodline shirt off, as Jey Uso ripped Sami's shirt off, and he obliged. Sami looked despondent in the ring. The head of the table then tossed him a new t-shirt that said SZ honorary use to officially make him a part of the Bloodline. A Wikipedia user named Lone Lim recently made several changes to the Great Liberator's biography to reflect the storyline the WWE Universe is seeing play out on SmackDown. The surname Anui was added to his page to highlight his status as the honorary use. Roman Reigns' name in real life is Joseph Anui. The edited page also briefly listed Sami as a Canadian Samon. The honorary use got some backup on this past Friday's episode of the Blue Brand. After receiving his honorary use shirt, Zayn was elated backstage. Madcap Moss and Ricochet confronted the Great Liberator and tried to suggest that he wasn't actually a part of the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa came out of nowhere and absolutely leveled Madcap and Ricochet from behind. Sami took the opportunity to taunt the two SmackDown stars and shouted, "You're dealing with the Bloodline now." WWE later announced that Madcap Moss and Ricochet will battle Sami and Solo in a tag team match on next week's episode of SmackDown. The Usos successfully defended their undisputed tag team championship against the Brawling Brutes in the main event of this past Friday's SmackDown. It will be interesting to see if they are ringside to support their fellow Bloodline members on next week's episode. How would you like to see the storyline with Sami Zayn and the Bloodline play out in WWE? Share your thoughts in the comments section below.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head.